Sorry, some technical difficulties, but welcome to another Joker's Wild Side. I am Lobo, as I said.
I'm Jax, doing the same hand motion.
Yeah, we had a little technical issue here, but we're back on track.
And I'm technically stupid, so it works.
Well, I'm technically not. So stupid. I think there's still a lit somewhere. Today we got a good show. But first, I want to see how you doing, bud. Everything all right?
I'm a little beat today. Did a lot of candy.
Made some candy.
Yeah, making caramels. Day before, I was a little defeated. Tried making toffee. Man, that stuff is hard to make.
Yeah, you were saying you made it 3 times. And
it didn't turn out the best.
Hey, you brought some over. It still tastes delicious. I'll give you that much. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad. Besides that little trouble with the candy, you're fine. Yeah, just got off work, a little sweaty, sticky. It's all right. That's work.
Are you a stripper?
Leave it to the imagination. Moving on. We got a lot of news today. A lot of NFL news. Some go over the week 2. And then we got a lot of pro wrestling, specifically WWE today. There was not a lot of any other news through other promotions, so we're going to stick to WWE today pretty much. But let's kick things off with Monday night. As we were going live, we decided to put the game on.
Watching a little side-by-side.
Yeah, the Jets-Bills. What were your thoughts on what you did see? And the second thing we're going to be reviewing here about Aaron Rodgers' injury.
So we pulled it up. First thing you noticed was Aaron Rodgers wasn't there.
No, I was like, the backup was there. What the hell is going on?
Oh, yeah. So that kicked it off, and we initially, our core thoughts was, nah, Bills got this. They can run circles around him without Aaron Rodgers.
Boy, were we wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That Jets defense is killer. I think it was 3 or 4 picks. It was bad Bills game. Specifically, their quarterback. Wow. Can't remember his name right now.
The Bills quarterback?
Yeah.
I can't think now either. What the heck?
Allen. Yeah. Hold on.
Josh Allen.
See,
jeez.
Very important.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he had a bad night. As a gunslinger, as the quarterback, that type of quarterback he is, that will happen. He likes to go deep. He has that strength in his arm. And that might bite you in the ass a few times. And
he overthrew a handful of times.
Yeah, and then one was just terrible throw. Specifically, I think he was close towards the red zone and he took a shot and it was just a bad throw. Really bad throw.
But, man, the Jets were able to turn over the ball like no other. I was so shocked.
Yeah. So he had 3 picks that day. All by the same guy, by the way. The same defender. Had his number. Those Jets defense were on him. They kept him in, and their backup did not lose him the game. Wilson did not lose him the game, so that's how they're going to have to carry on going forward here with the season for the Jets. But I know you, as an honorary Bills fan, you kind of...
I was hoping for it. I always know that the Bills defense, it hasn't been there. It has been always super weak, and I was hoping for big changes on that, and we just haven't seen those changes yet.
Yeah, I don't know why they just... I don't know if they came out flat or they just were not 100% ready like they wanted to be. But also, like I said, Josh Allen played horrendous. They could not get off the ball running-wise. They could not... I mean, Diggs had a 100-yard game, the receiver, but one player cannot carry the whole thing. So it was a very bad overall showing by the Bills.
Definitely week 1 moves here.
Yes, exactly. Moving quickly into the Aaron Rodgers stuff. We're actually going to jump a little bit ahead on what I wanted to do, but Aaron Rodgers' injury did not look as bad as we thought because he walked off on it. He was in a boot walk. It did not seem like it was bothering so much.
Yeah, initial X-rays were potentially looking at ACL tears and
bones, but it came out negative supposedly.
That's good.
And then more into it, it turned out to be his Achilles.
Gotcha.
It tore.
Oh man.
So during the week, I like watching sports shows, especially the Pat McAfee show, who inspired this. So thank you. But they slowed down that play, and you see on his leg, as he steps, you see this wrinkle go up his calf and onto the back of his knee, and that's the Achilles snapping and running up the leg.
Oh.
Yeah. It was weird. I'm like, oh, that's not, no. But that clearly showed it. And so unfortunately, he is out for the rest of the season. If recovery goes well, he could come back for playoffs, they're saying. But he's pretty much out of the seat for the season. He did have surgery already Monday, I think Wednesday, a few days ago in LA. But one thing that happened today specifically, he came on to the Pat McAfee show, speaking of the Pat McAfee, just to talk to the MC how he's doing. And he addressed the situation and specifically everybody speculating and doubting that he wants to return. He pretty much says, watch what I do.
He's a bold statement.
I love it. I fucking love it because it's one of those things that the spiteful and the spiteful players that are really good, any little thing you tell them, they'll take it like, okay, I'll prove you wrong. Watch.
Yeah.
This is what it sounds like. Everybody's saying he's too old. This injury is going to take too long, and a lot of people, it's rough. It is a rough injury to come back. Any tendon injury is extremely rough to come back from. He's taking it like, okay, doubt me. All right, watch. I love it. This just speaks to his competitor, and I'm glad. Specifically, one, for Aaron Rodgers. He still has the drive to play.
Mm-hmm.
And two, for the Jets, because they look very good. All they need is that quarterback, and he goes down 4 plays into the season. Like, I'm not a Jets fan, and I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan, but that felt devastating. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Losing a player like Aaron Rodgers.
yeah.
I mean, initially we thought that the Jets were going to fumble the rest of the game and not be able to make it. But
yeah, but they played really well. Their offense struggled the first half after that, but in the second half he was able to get going and then score. Wilson was, but it just seemed, we both thought, and we both put not really money, but really we put our thoughts that the Bills were just going to run away with this. We were really wrong. We should have not doubted the Jets' defense like we did, but it was a slow game. I did watch it all. I don't know how much you still watched after you left.
no, I didn't watch much after it. I was going to go and watch the highlights before our Monday night.
Gotcha. But it was, regardless, it was a good show to the Jets. They still have a fighting chance in this. If they could get to the playoffs, maybe they'll get Aaron Rodgers back in time for that. So T's and P's. Hope he gets better real quick for the Jets, for Aaron Rodgers. Also, yesterday, great game. Boring first, like 2 and a little bit quarters, and then it sped up. Eagles versus Vikings last night. Eagles were struggling really in the beginning, both offensive, defensively. As defensively, they're missing 4 of their starters, so that's a big chunk of your defenders, especially if they're veterans like they are. And then offensively, they cannot get the pass game going at all.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you watched of this.
No, like I said, I was going to watch all the highlights for it all.
Okay. We'll go over this later again. But
And somebody got injured in the Vikings game. I didn't write down who it was.
it was their tackle you did mention. He's out for the season? Is that what we
Quad injury,
Quad
out for the season.
Out for
Season-ending injury.
Yeah. So they were already having some issues with the line. It seems now they're going to get worse on that. Let's see if they can make it up, because Vikings have been pretty good for a few years. It just needed something to get over the hump, and I don't know if they got it yet. But the Eagles, after not figuring out their pass game, they said F it, and they started running it. They literally went one drive. I think it was 11 of 15 plays. Run, run, run. It reminded me of the old school days where everything was run before they really started throwing it.
Oh, yeah.
But they ended up getting a big victory here, 34-28. Like I said, it was a low-scoring game till the fourth quarter, if I remember correctly.
And then they just overtook running it.
So it was a 13-7 at halftime. And then after that, it picked up with both teams trading off a 7 and 14 quarter each, third and fourth. But it really sped up after the halftime. So it seemed like they got the groove. Like I said, it's the beginning of the season. People are still trying to figure out who they are. But let's see if the next Thursday night game will be better. Now, let's review some of the games. Some of the games are coming up this week, Sunday. The main one we were looking forward, we'll hold on a bit on that because that's going to be, we could talk about that a little bit. One I'm looking forward to is the 49ers and the Rams. They both started off with a big win. Both of them dominated their teams. Rams beat Seattle handily, and the 49ers destroyed the Steelers.
As it sits right now, I got 49ers in this.
I do too, but this is also a division rivalry, so it'll be tough. I got the 49ers on this too, though. Really, it's just what they showed in week one. As you saw, the scores and the highlights you saw, they were everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
49ers killing it.
Yes, they are. Next game, Bengals-Ravens, another rivalry here. Bengals started off really bad with the Browns. They got pretty much blown out. And the Ravens blew out somewhat of the Texans, I believe. But they also had bad showings offensively. So let's see if the Ravens can get it together or the Bengals show up to be the team that we believe they are, which is a Super Bowl contender and not that fluke that was last week.
I'm hoping the Bengals pick up the steam because they did not show it against the Browns.
100%. It looked so bad that I kind of was wondering why in the world were we watching this game. The next one is Seahawks and Lions for two reasons. Really, Seahawks played decent versus the Rams, but they could not get they could not really score. So for being last year's best offensive scoring wise, let's see if they could bounce back. And then the Lions, they beat Kansas City, the reigning champions, by 1 point.
Yep.
Let's see if that was a fluke or if these are the brand new Lions.
Ain't no more pussycats.
Exactly. They're not gonna just roll over and take it. They're here to fight.
Let's get it, Lions.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Lions show more toughness, more grit, and really pull up a second win with a team who last year was, offensively at least, killers. One other one that we did not put on the board, but is the Jets and Cowboys. Both got a win. Jets, obviously, we just talked about them. Aaron Rodgers out. Let's see if they can continue this with mostly their defense. But the Cowboys also won big time against the Giants, 40-0.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if they could do that. One, to this defense was elite.
I definitely think the Cowboys were playing a lot better than the Bills were. So I can see the Cowboys decimating Jets, and it's nothing against the Jets.
So you're expecting a destruction of the Jets.
If Cowboys keep going with the momentum that they have, might as well, right?
Okay. I actually think this is going to be a lot closer game than people think it will. They have right now Dallas favored by 8.5 points. That means that they're just favored by even more than a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? I think the Jets keep it close with their outstanding defense. Their offense is what worries me. If Wilson starts making turnovers or bad plays, Jets have no chance in winning this game. But this is also a good test for the Cowboys. Offensively, specifically, because Jets defense, as we saw what they did to
they're
Bills,
crazy.
Yes, they're killers. They're waiting for the ball to take it back. I mean, if Cowboys don't come prepared, they might just defensively. The Jets might win this just with their defense alone.
It could test the mettle of both teams. I think this will be a really good game.
Agreed. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker in reality. Old school, fight to the finish, 1, 2, 3 point game. Yeah, this line is crazy that they're favored by that many points. I'm kind of taking. I wanted the Jets to win on this one. How about you?
I'm hoping the Jets win.
Yeah.
I want to see what they can do without Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed.
I want to see their new quarterback. Well, not new quarterback, but their secondary quarterback be able to prove that he can stand in the ring. That they don't need Aaron Rodgers to be a good team, but it could go either way.
They need him to be a great team, in my opinion. I think they're a good team, specifically defensively. We raised about them. They were all over the Bills. But offensively, Wilson is lacking something. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he proves it in this game.
It'll definitely give him field time.
I mean, it's all him now.
Yep.
And now to the game that we're both excited about. The Bills, who just came off of an unfortunate, devastating loss to the Jets. And my team, 1-0, the leaders of the West, the Raiders. What do you think here? Buffalo is favored by 8 points, by the way. So they're heavily favored even after the bad showing. I think this was just a bad game, like I said, against the Jets. A very good Jets team, though.
I definitely think that the Raiders could get around Bills' defense.
Okay.
But Bills' offense have always been strong.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about a little bit of this as we realized we were playing each other, kind of. If Allen shows up like that Allen that showed up against the Jets, throwing picks.
Not happening.
I don't think so either, just because I think he's a better quarterback than that. But if that Allen shows up, I don't think the Bills have a fucking chance.
Nah.
But if the killer shows up that went to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row, I think the Raiders will be beat the hell up.
Oh yeah, I mean Josh Allen. We were looking at some of the highest rated players, and Josh Allen was almost on every single freaking list. I think he was 7 out of 10 lists.
Yeah, agreed. It's just hard to pick him after the bad showing he had. And quarterbacks like Josh Allen don't have that usually back to back or back to back. But we'll have to wait and see. I was thinking, I don't know if you're down for this. We put a pain bet on it.
All right.
We'll have to figure out what it is, or a spicy bet. I don't know if I want it spicy anymore, dude.
I ruined you.
You didn't ruin me. It's just so much spicy altogether. Kind of, my stomach was not happy for a day.
Oh, I was big chilling.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. We're definitely putting a bet on that. So get ready for the aftermath of that bet. We'll have a short little film for you guys here. See one of us react in pain or spice, or I don't know. We got to figure something out.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we'll have that for you as soon as we can. But other than that, yeah, that's this week's what I think is the biggest games. So obviously you got the Bills on the Raiders game.
Yep. I'll take the Bills on this.
All right. I'll have the Raiders. I'll stick with my team. They started off not the greatest showing, but they won. A win's a win.
Win's a win.
And you got Josh Allen, so that's always a big coin to have in your back pocket. You know, he's a killer. Another thing that happened apparently, Texas quarterback. You brought this up. C.J. Stroud has apparently a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he has a shoulder injury. It didn't read as anything like how long he might be out, but if his condition does not get better, then Davis Mills will step in as the quarterback.
Okay. Davis... Sorry, long day. Davis Mills, I don't think he's started too many times, so this will be interesting to see how he plays. Texans play... Oh, they play the Colts. Okay, I'm taking the Colts on that one, no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if CJ shot, I think they have a better team overall. But that's just my opinion. They're both 0-1. They both lost their first game. So, but I'm also a big Colts supporter, as Pat McAfee used to play for them, and I'm a big fan of him. So let's go Colts on that one. Let's move along straight into wrestling. This week, Becky Lynch had a match in NXT for the Women's Championship, and she won.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a decent match. I saw it, but there was a lot of bad, not really news, but opinions of what happened from other podcasters and pro wrestlers that are podcasters. That if they really thought their opponent was such a star, they would not give it to Becky Lynch. They wouldn't have had her won. So, plus and minuses, I don't know. We'll see. But congratulations to Lynch, regardless.
Yeah, congratulations, Lynch.
Another thing that happened today. This all happened today. The rest of this. The Rock came out to the Pat McAfee show. He was talking about the Bloodline storyline. And that there was a possibility they were trying to work out a match with him and Roman Reigns in last year's or the years before that WrestleMania. Your thoughts on what could have been?
If The Rock was to face Roman back during Smackdown, or you said Smackdown, yeah?
No, WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. My bad.
No, you're fine.
I feel like that could have been an amazing show. Now, with where the Bloodline's at, if The Rock was to face Roman, I can see another tribal war here.
Yeah, I kind of like that. The problem is, will they have him win? I mean, if Roman beats The Rock, whether it was back then or now, who's going to take the Roman Reigns for the title?
Yeah.
That's the big question. If not him, who?
And I don't feel like The Rock he's not in WWE enough to just be there to be able to defend the title and stuff like that.
Yeah, but neither is Roman Reigns. Like, he is the champion,
fair.
And he's obviously way more than The Rock. The Rock has not been in WWE for 4 years.
He's been taking his movie career, and
yeah,
we've all had some good laughs off of what he's been producing.
Yeah. The thing is, he's such a megastar. If not him, who? I can only see another family member doing it now.
I mean,
it's not The Rock.
Jimmy's going crazy. I think Solo can take it.
If it's done right, anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when The Undertaker had the undefeated streak at WrestleMania. There's another year he beat another star, another year bigger and stronger, faster, more popular, whatever. If not them, who? This is where we're at right now with Roman. He is 3 years with the title?
Yeah, something
like that.
He's 1,000+ days. Yeah. During SummerSlam, he was 1,064 days or something to the extent of.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting back to Bruno Sammartino days where he held it for, I think it was 15 years almost. Or maybe or 7 years, something like that. It was just ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, something that's taken too long.
Yes. It's just, I don't know who. Unless they're building up to something that right now that I can't see. I don't know who. I think it has to be The Rock. But like I said, I'm not booking, so I'm glad this is a big thing they have to do. They have to figure it out. But I'm excited to see what happens. And then speaking of Pat McAfee, tonight, just as we were going to go live, he returned to Smackdown, talking a little smack to Austin Theory. And after 4 years, The Rock returns. So after him talking about this, The Rock returns, has a little back and forth with Theory. What were your thoughts on that?
Oh, Theory was talking like he owned everything.
The entitlement of this fucking guy.
He was the business, is what his entire mantra was that night. And
tonight, yeah.
Tonight. And The Rock just came in and showed him that you need an ego check, buddy. The whole stadium chanting, you are
a-hole.
A-hole. Yeah.
It was good.
And it didn't go on just like a 1, 2, 3 thing. It was 6 minutes or something.
It was a few minutes, yeah. And I think as Pat McAfee was talking to him, like, we got 2 hours of this.
Oh yeah.
I think it could have gone 2 hours if they really wanted to. And that shows you the power of The Rock with the stick, with the mic on him. He could do anything. But it was a big pop from the crowd. Crowd loved it. I loved it. So I was watching the Pat McAfee show interview with The Rock. And I go onto social medias, and the first thing I see, The Rock return SmackDown. I thought, first thing is, okay, this is a fake post. And then I look, I'm like, oh shit. And I started looking for it. I'm excited to see this. I'm not sure if this is going to happen, but I kind of want to see him. We're going to Raw this Monday. I kind of want to see him pop up, although I doubt he will. Because I think this story's taken care of in SmackDown. So
yeah,
we will see. But nonetheless, excited for Raw now. Let's see what will pop off. And then another surprise, John Cena returns. And The Rock and him reunite. So they hug it out. They bro hug it out.
Nice.
It was cool. And then John Cena goes out to do a little like interview section with Weiler.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of him. He has a big mouth. It might grow on me. Who knows?
I mean, he had a whole stadium set up. It looked like the Weatherman, the Weatherman. I can't.
You talking about the pine trees there?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked weird, but it was interesting regardless. He kept him to run to John Cena when he wanted. So that was kind of funny.
It was hilarious. John Cena didn't get a single freaking word off.
Pretty much.
Every moment, he was just silenced.
As he was asking questions, and then as soon as John Cena was, and I'm like, oh my god, this is great. And then, was it Jimmy or Jay?
Jimmy.
Jimmy came out as they had a little tussle or confrontation a few weeks ago. And also doesn't let him talk. And then starts talking, let's go, let's fight. And then Solo comes out. They attack Cena. The fake out, you called it.
Oh, the fake out was beautiful. Solo picked up Jay, raised his fist, and then did a super kick
to Cena. Yeah, it was a good fake out, especially the way Jimmy was acting behind Solo, like the scared little brother, but now he has his big brother, but it's really the opposite. He was like, oh, what you gonna do now, Cena? What you gonna do? Grabbing Solo. And then Solo grabbed him like he was about to beat him up for being a dumbass, man. Regardless, that was good. AJ Styles comes out, helps John Cena out, clears of the ring, and, they celebrate as the Cena's music hits. So it was a good little segment. Like the funny stuff with Cena. It was very good. Another news that happened this week. Big news. So finally the merger happens. UFC and WWE merge, officially creating the holding name is TKO Enterprises, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just the TKO as a whole holding enterprise for both of them. So we will see what happens. I know you've been big time into UFC recently.
I'm loving UFC right now.
I used to watch a lot more back in the day when my favorite fighter was GSP, George St. Pierre.
Okay.
He was, I think he's, to me, the best fighter ever.
I've seen a few Pierre fight a little bit.
Okay. Very good. But I want to see what they actually do with this. Maybe some UFC fighters come as like special guests or whatever to WWE, and vice versa. They'll be promoting each other. So this is cool because it's two big companies coming together to create a bigger conglomerate.
Yeah.
So this is great. I could just imagine the stuff they're gonna do together. Unfortunately, though, that comes with some bad news. They're saying that because of this merger, they're looking into the books and all this other stuff, and layoffs are most likely coming to some wrestlers, some people behind the scenes. There was already one layoff. I can't remember his name. He was a behind the scene guy. So there's going to be changes here coming off. I'm guessing to both companies.
Oh yeah, I would assume as much.
Mm-hmm.
UFC does stuff very well,
Mm-hmm.
and WWE does stuff very well.
Yeah.
And when you have people who are lesser in each department, you can move some people around, and it's a terrible thing. But for the quality of what we're going to be getting, I feel like it can increase.
Agreed. And that's just something that happens that we're kind of dealing with a little in our own company. We're not going to get into it, but we understand it. It's business. Unfortunately, they're not here to be your best friend. They're here to make money. And
it is a business after all.
Yes, exactly. So understandable. Hope is not too much of layoffs, just because we want to see people succeed. We want to see people make money and feed their families, right? But other than that, I think that's all we have, except one last thing. We will be going to Monday Night Raw here on, what date will that be?
The 18th, I think.
The 18th, here on Salt Lake City. I'm so excited to it. I know you
We've just seen so much big movement in WWE that it is changing. There are big things happening in WWE, and I'm hoping that we see something spectacular during Monday Night Raw.
Agreed. I mean, with the surprises that I already have on Smackdown with the first show after the merger, I'm guessing the first Monday Night Raw, they're going to do the same. Some big names we will see live. Carlos is also going, Paco, the guy that's streamed with us the SummerSlam. So we will also be doing some recording, trying to get that to you as soon as possible for that. I just want to get you guys to be a heads up for that. We're not going to get too much of the show. We're going to get more of us reacting to certain things, maybe the outside, and us talking a little bit, maybe towards...
Yeah, more of like a vlogging style.
Yeah, that's the proper way. So it'll be our first official blog. Hope you guys enjoy it. When it comes out, we'll keep you posted. But regardless, just want to let you know that's the big news coming along. Other than that, do you have anything else?
So the only thing I wanted to touch on was with the UFC and WWE merger.
Okay.
I know that there was a lot of UFC people who came out and they were speaking out against this merger.
Yeah.
And they said, well, I don't want to be a part of the WWE. I'm a real fighter. And I feel like we're going to lose some UFC fighters here.
If they don't see the amount of money that could be made in this, then they're short-minded.
They're being very close-minded on the situation because this doesn't affect you. Your position still is viable. It's not like you're going to have Jake Paul, or is it Logan Paul that's in WWE? Logan Paul that comes in and he's just going to dance in a Prime bottle in the middle of arena. It's not going to happen.
I don't know. Let's not put anything past these two companies, man. Let's be honest. They've done some crazy stuff. Like the UFC first started, it was really no rules, no weight classes. It was kind of crazy. There was like really no rules. They were punching each other in the nuts, man. No
brutal. Yeah,
you
could get seriously hurt.
I remember WWE used to have these matches called bra and panty matches. The point was to get someone into the bra and panties. So don't put it past them to do something stupid or crazy. But I'm down for it. I want to see anything that's going to come out of this. Because either good or bad, it will make news, it will make headlines, it will make money. And what do we all want?
A little
bit more moolah. So I'm excited for it.
I'm excited. I don't see any big negatives from this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I have on that.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this. Leave anything that you think on the merger, Rodgers, watch what I do, comments, anything that you want us to review or react to that we'll get other days. let us know. Also remember, take this with a grain of salt. These are only opinions from two doofuses, two jokers who love sports, specifically football and wrestling, and some nerd stuff. So if you get offended or do not like what we say, move it along. We are not here for everybody. We understand that. Um, but regardless, thank you for tuning in. Remember also to be grateful for the things you have, grateful for the struggles and the bad things you don't have, because we could always be worse off. But other than that, I've been Lobo.
I've been Jax.
This was Joker's Wild Side. See ya.